Manhattan, a city that never stops talking. Horns, chatter, phones vibrating in pockets, an endless chorus of noise. But what happens when that chorus is cut? When silence is not an accident, but a weapon? Tonight, silence is engineered, and it will bring a city to its knees. It begins quietly. A woman dials 911 as her husband collapses. No answer. No ringing. Nothing. Across town, a bond trader waits for a two-factor code to log in. The clock ticks. The code never arrives. Commuters lift their phones toward the sky, searching for a signal that isn't there. Nervous laughter fades into unease. It doesn't feel like an outage. It feels like something larger, like a hand reaching down and gripping the city by the throat. Deep under the city, in forgotten rooms, the machines wait. Hundreds of servers, racks of SIM cards, high-powered antennas. Together, the operators call them the choir. One SIM is a voice. 100,000 SIMs can sing a silence. The choir floods networks with millions of phantom texts, clogging the pipes meant for emergency calls and security codes. It tricks phones into connecting to fake towers. It jams signals until nothing gets through. And above it all, the city begins to sweat modernness. Authorities have seized equipment like this before, but what if the takedown was only one piece of a larger puzzle? SA, the cyber terrorists knew what silence would cause: fear, panic, doubt. They counted on it. And while the public panicked, they were making money. They had already placed massive bets against the market. They shorted it. To short the market is to gamble that stocks will fall. You borrow shares and sell them at today's price. When fear drives the price down, you buy them back cheaper, return them, and keep the profit. The bigger the fall, the bigger the payday. By engineering panic in Manhattan, silencing phones, delaying trades, freezing access, they drove markets into freefall. And they made millions when prices collapsed. The blackout spreads, emergency calls vanish, subway passengers sit in dark cars whispering rumors. Is it an attack? A war? Parents rush to schools. Traders slam keyboards as markets spiral. Small businesses shut doors, unable to take payment. Fear mutates into chaos. Crowds gather, protests rise, and in the silence, doctored clips leak online. A mayor calling for evacuation. A diplomat caught whispering betrayal. Lies race faster than the truth can catch them. And still, the choir sings, blocking calls, delaying codes, fueling panic. Behind the curtain, the real crime unfolds. From a rented suite downtown, attackers hijack accounts, intercept two-factor codes, and push fraudulent transfers through financial rails. Billions shift across borders under cover of silence. The political fallout is secondary, a bonus. Leaders look weak, confidence collapses, and the short positions pay off. The silence was never the crime. It was the distraction. Authorities raid storage lockers, seize equipment, arrest some of the operators, but much of the money is gone, vanished into crypto mixers and offshore accounts. The city recovers its voice. Phones buzz again. The streets fill with noise. But the damage lingers, because silence left a scar. Now, people glance at their phones with a new doubt. Trust has been broken, and everyone knows silence can be engineered. So ask yourself, why did they do it? Was it a demonstration, a diversion, a robbery, a political hit, or was it all of the above? What we know is this: the criminals anticipated fear. They profited from panic. They silenced a city to make it scream. And yet, the real question isn't what happened. The question is, what weren't you told? This story may sound like fiction, but it isn't as far from reality as you might hope. The United States Secret Service recently announced that it had foiled a plot, a Chinese-sponsored operation, that had assembled the exact kind of equipment we just described. High-end jammers, SIM servers, enough gear to disrupt communications in and around Manhattan. But it didn't happen this time, because it was stopped. But here's the truth. It can happen again. And it can happen anywhere. So ask yourself, do you know how to prepare if your phone stopped working? If your city went silent? Do you have a backup plan for your family, your business, your community? Where would you get information? Who would you trust? And here's something even more important. If you see something that doesn't look right, strange equipment, suspicious activity around communication towers, or anything that makes you question, say something. In the United States, you can contact your local police department, your FBI field office, or call the Department of Homeland Security tip line. Your voice may be the one that prevents a blackout. And if the story made you think differently about how fragile our systems really are, then help us keep telling these stories. Like this video. Share it with someone you care about. And subscribe. Because it motivates us to keep creating more of what you weren't told. You've been listening to What We Weren't Told. Stay safe, stay vigilant,